What's up guys, we're back for another trailer analysis, and today we're going to be covering Ralf, Clark, and a new mechanic. So as usual, let's just jump straight into the new stuff, starting with Ralf. So Ralf Kick definitely has more push block compared to 14. If you use this move at the same distance in 14, you see Ralf ends up much closer to Clark and within punish range. And that's the main problem with this move, it's very punishable unless you spaced it. But as a Ralf player, you would never be that far from the opponent. That's just not your optimal distance with Ralf. But going out of your way just to use this move safely isn't worth it. So for this move to have some utility back is a great sign, not just for Ralf but in terms of game design in general for 15. Things like giving old moves back, adding or changing properties of the current moves, making all the hits of a super landing more consistently, right? So entire movesets are becoming more useful because of changes like these. So I get the impression that characters are going to be more polished in this iteration of KoF. So not a major change for Ralf, but his EX Ralf Impact now crumples on hit. In 14 it caused a wall bounce, but either way Ralf could still combo into EX Ralf Kick. So in terms of combo potential, this is not a major change for him, so why even bother changing this move in the first place? So one thing I could think of is that wall bounce combos become problematic in the corner because they bounce to the other side. Now Ralf can still do the same combo and get the same damage regardless, but he's going to lose the corner here. Characters like Geese and Terry, however, actually lose damage potential because of this problem. So let's take Terry for example on Anchor from mid screen. You could get 2 EX moves into Burn Knuckle into EX Super and you get almost 600 damage. But in the corner, the character bounces to the other side, so the combo you were doing mid screen doesn't work here. In Terry's case, he has to settle for EX Crack Shoot into EX Power Charge and then Rising Tackle into Super. You get a little less damage than the mid screen combo, but there are 3 problems with this. So first of all, you have to learn a separate combo just for the corner, so if you struggle with muscle memory then this could really trip you up. Second, you need to have the spatial awareness of the corner to know which combo to do, and this can trip you up in a high tension situation. Lastly, this is a pretty hard combo to do, right? Charge motion down up into double quarter circle forward. But now that his EX Power Charge crumples on hit, you don't have to worry about all that anymore. Sure, his EX Crack Shoot doesn't ground bounce anymore, but I'm sure there are new ways to combo from this. Now let's use Geese as an example, assuming you're doing a 1-bar combo. You get a wall bounce, instant air fireball, hard knockdown, optional OTG for more damage. High execution but worth it. In a corner you really don't get shit. You can end it in EX Reppuken, but you lose the corner and it's less damage than the mid screen combo. Or you could do an air fireball setup for cross-up gimmicks, but I'm generally against these gimmicky setups because they only work against someone who hasn't seen it. Otherwise it's a waste of bar. Anyways, the whole point here is that the wall bounce mechanics backfired on you in 14 depending on the character. You're doing the right thing, you're being offensive, you're pushing them in the corner, but instead you get punished for it by losing the corner or settling for a suboptimal combo? That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, kinda went on a tangent there, but I think SNK is aware of wall bounces being a problem, which is why we're seeing moves like EX Power Charge and Ralf Impact being changed to crumple on hit. Now, I don't think wall bounces will disappear completely from 15, but from a balance and game design standpoint, I see a lot of sense behind SNK's decision so far, and I'm generally in favor with the direction that this game is heading towards. Alright, moving on to Clark. So a major change is that he now has his Frankensteiner back. So this is a DP motion kicks command grab that is invincible up to the point where he grabs you, which pretty much works exactly like Diamond's invincible grab, which is also the same motion. I'm glad that SNK decided to show the follow-up because this was a major complaint of mine in the Shermie and Yashiro trailers. But anyways, it's good to know that this move is coming back in its most complete form. So this leads me to my next point of speculation, is that he could probably super cancel off of Frankensteiner. So for those who don't know, Clark can super cancel off of any elbow drop in 14. It doesn't matter if the elbow drop comes after his command grab or after the DDT follow-up after his tackle. His Frankensteiner has the same exact follow-up, so there's no reason for this move to not be super cancelable, and I would be very surprised if it wasn't. So the next big change before we talk about the new mechanic is that Clark can now combo into his forward B command normal and special cancel from it. So in 14 this move couldn't do either. You couldn't combo into it, you couldn't special cancel from it, You could super cancel from it or get a quick max afterwards, and it does retain the overhead property even when cancelled into, so it sort of worked as a frame trap and a surprise overhead. But I think most players would agree that they would rather be able to combo into this move and then special cancel from it, which actually was a thing in the previous games. So in 02UM, this was one of his BNB combos. Sure, you could tech this follow-up right here, but it was a 1 in 3 guess. So basically, they brought back forward B in 14, repurposed it, realized it wasn't a good change, and then they fixed it back to what it should be in 15. So good shit on SNK's part. So another thing that wasn't possible in the older games is comboing his command normal into a command grab, and 02UM the pushback is too far to combo to anything else besides his tackle. This is a pretty big improvement for Clark for a couple of reasons, the obvious one being for hit confirm purposes. The other reason being for damage purposes. Clark's close C is 2 hits but only cancelable on the first hit. Even though his command grab is supposed to do a lot of damage, he only gets 40 damage before cancelling into it. Ralf's close D on the other hand is only 1 hit, so there's no damage split between the 2 hits, and he can add more damage thanks to having a command normal, so his combo here actually does more damage even when using the light version of his own Gatling. So another big change for Clark is that he didn't just special cancel into any move, he special canceled into his Gatling, which is a back forward charge move off of a forward B command normal. So how is this possible? So shoutouts to Shingybeast for pointing this out to me, but in 02, his command normal can be done holding forward or back. In 14, it was only a forward motion, which makes sense because you couldn't special cancel from it anyways. Now, if you combine common sense with probability guessing, the most likely change is that Clark's command normal can be done with the back motion again, and thanks to that, he can now combo into Gatling from hard normals. So why is that a big deal? For starters, this combo here, ignoring the forward B, is actually possible in 14, but the problem here is that Gatling is a charge move and Clark didn't have a special cancelable command normal, so realistically you would see this combo off of lights, which means less damage, but now this combo is more accessible to him in 15 thanks to these changes. Secondly, if you think about it, you should be able to combo close C into forward B into his C Gatling and then do the air toss follow-up, which would actually be his most damaging combo without using bar. You don't even need to see what the other changes are for Clark to know that the changes to 4B is probably going to be the most significant to him in 15. 2 hits into mount tackle, Gatling, command grab, all these different combo enders with hard knockdowns and different Oki setups, that's Clark paradise, man. Clark players are going to have way more fun with him in 15 for sure. Alright, so onto the new mechanic shown off in his trailer, the pink flash, which seems to be the equivalent of 14's max mode. So let's go ahead and compare the two. In 14, when you perform a quick max or max mode during a combo, your character will automatically dash up so that you're within range for your close normals to come out, allowing you to continue the combo. In 15, you also see Ralf and Clark run up after the pink flash. So a lot of people are debating, is this run up automatic or manual? I'm going to lean towards automatic here because that's how it's been for the past 2 games. And let's not forget, fighting games are trending towards simplicity and easier execution to get more people to play their game, so I don't think they're going to reverse this trend and have people manually dash up. Also in 14, you can use EX moves only while in max mode. In 15, we've already seen that characters can freely use EX moves without having to go into any kind of activation, but if you rewatch the entire trailer, you notice that Ralf and Clark only use EX moves during the pink flash. This is also the first trailer where you don't see EX supers being used. So why is that? Could it be that KoF 15 is going to be similar to 98 in that you'll be selected between 2 modes with different perks? If that's the case, then the logo makes more sense. It's not just Shunei being the main character with red and blue powers going on. Maybe we'll have 2 different max modes, a blue max mode and a red max mode, even though it's pink here, but they'll probably call it red max mode. So why do I think this might be the case? Well, think about the utility of the pink max mode here. We're on agreement that this should cost a bar, right? There's no way that this should be free. So if it does cost a bar, why would you spend a meter to get 2 extra normals in the combo, and then you spend meter on EX move, and then you spend more meter for the super? Why not just go into EX Gatling and continue the combo from there? And also, when you go into any kind of mode, there should be a perk, right? So what's the perk here for a pink max mode? because you can already use EX moves freely outside of activation. You can already special cancel into supers outside of activation, so why be in this mode? But if you think about it as two different modes, it makes more sense. Maybe this whole combo here actually costs just 2 bars, but the trade-off is that you can't use EX moves outside of Pink Max mode, which would explain why we don't see Clark or Ralf using any EX moves outside of the Pink Flash. Maybe another trade-off is that you can't use EX supers, which is also why we don't see them anywhere in this trailer. So what about Blue Max mode? What would be the perks of choosing that instead? Well, the most obvious one would be that you can use EX moves freely without any kind of activation. The second one maybe would be that you can have access to EX supers. The trade-off is that you can't quick max mid combo, and if that's the case, that would explain why we've only seen characters plot Blue Max outside of a combo. The last perk would be that you can combo a level 1 super into a level 2 super into Climax. Remember, anytime a character has done this in any trailer, they're glowing blue, so we know they have to be in Blue Max mode to do this. So I just want to say this is all speculation and conjecture on my part. The only other alternative I see that there might be 2 separate bars for different functions like this in 13, but we'll just have to wait and see until SNK tells us. So final thoughts on this trailer. The Clark changes are amazing, I don't think anyone would disagree with that. On the other hand, we didn't get to see enough Ralf action, which kinda sucks, but on the other hand, I think Ralf is fine as he was in 14. He's got above average health, above average damage, plus frame shorts, and some of the best normals in the game. So compared to other characters, he's not as much in need of something new. But if I wanted him to be more fun, I would like them to change the D version of Ralf Kick, because right now it sucks. It's supposed to be a faint version of the B version, but it's so slow that you can't even use it as a gimmick. Other than that, I think it's frustrating how much SNK is holding back on the system mechanics. We're on the 20th trailer and we're just barely seeing the Pink Flash, and it wasn't too long ago that they showed us the armored blowback. This is the kind of shit that you need to show us from the beginning. I do enjoy the weekly trailers and I'm in favor of a lot of the changes they've made to the characters, but I just don't see the point in keeping us in the dark about the games and mechanics. Like, why is it such a big secret? Because to me it should be a selling point, kind of like the roster or rollback netcode. And I feel dirty kind of using Street Fighter V as a positive example here, but one of the main selling points of that game was V-skill and V-trigger. Like, hey, this is what separates this game from Street Fighter 4. This is how we're going to make the characters feel new or different. So for me and the guys on this channel, KoF has always been the most fun fighting game series ever. It doesn't matter if it's 98, 02, 13, or 14, you know, we have a high degree of trust in SNK to make good fighting games, and we're excited to, we're really excited for 15, but goddamn, just show us how the game works. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time.